do you regret your actions at the Oscars?
I'm not a man prone to regrets, you know.
Is it safe to say that you were a Lion King on the prowl the night of the Oscars? Easy, easy, Tiger.
Will Smith has gone on to reveal the actual reason he had slapped Chris Rock, and the news is wreaking havoc on social media. When Chris Rock joked about Will Smith's wife, Jada Smith, the Pursuit of Happiness star went up to the stage and threw hands at the comedian. This was followed by an awkward moment, after which Smith proceeded to shout at Rock and warned him to keep his wife's name out of his mouth. Following this, hundreds of thousands of reactions were recorded across social media platforms as people argued about the rationality of Will Smith's actions.
It is Monday, unless you're Chris Rock, because I'm pretty sure he got slapped into next week.
This was the Hollywood version of your drunk uncle starting a fight, ruining the wedding, and then standing up and giving a long toast.
America may be divided, but it was kind of nice for all of us to come together and say, holy crap, at the same time.
However, it is being said now that Will Smith has gone ahead with the real reason as to why Chris Rock got hit by him. Will Smith is already being criticized by the public after someone followed his footsteps and hit another comedian on stage a few days ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for hip-hop history.
Was that Will Smith?
A fan writes on Twitter, Will Smith went home with an Oscar after slapping Chris Rock. A regular guy is going to the hospital armless after attacking Dave Chappelle on stage. The lesson of this story? Make money before attempting to do what rich people do. Before we get to Will Smith, Chris Rock has finally spoken up about what happened at the Oscars in 2022. After a slew of celebrities weighed in on Will Smith's altercation with the comedian, Rock addressed the issue for the first time at his stand-up gig in Boston, when he spoke to the audience about what happened and made a quick statement before his set. Chris Rock isn't in the mood to humiliate Will Smith after being hit on the Oscar stage by the actor, so he didn't say much while addressing the situation for the first time. After receiving a standing ovation from the audience, Rock launched his new stand-up performance in Boston by directly addressing the Oscars controversy. Speaking up regarding the Oscars confrontation, he then said,
How was your weekend? I don't have like a bunch of shit about what happened, so if you came to hear that, I had like a whole show I wrote before this weekend, and I'm still kind of processing what happened, so at some point I'll talk about that shit. And it'll be serious, it'll be funny.
According to Variety, after an audience member during his concert screamed, "Fuck Will Smith," Chris still kept quiet and merely replied, "I'm going to tell some jokes. It's just nice to be out." Apart from Rock lately, Oscars 2022 hostesses Amy Schumer and Wanda Sykes also addressed the event during their recent interviews and described the whole scenario of Will Smith stepping up to the stage and smacking Chris as sickening. After punching Chris Rock, Will Smith was asked to leave the Oscars celebration, but he refused, according to the Academy. Smith had also been placed under disciplinary processes by the event's organizers. Smith struck Rock because the comedian made a joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head, which is due to alopecia. The actor, who earned his first Academy Award during the event, has subsequently apologized. In its statement, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences said, Mr. Smith was asked to leave the ceremony and refused, but we also recognize we could have handled the situation differently. It also announced it had initiated disciplinary proceedings against Mr. Smith for violations of the Academy's standards of conduct. These include inappropriate physical contact, abusive or threatening behavior, and compromising the integrity of the Academy, it said. The Academy said action might be taken at its next board meeting on April 8th. That may include suspension, expulsion, or other sanctions, the statement said. He also apologized directly to Rock, as well as nominees, guests, and viewers. Meanwhile, Rock has also revealed that he is still processing the incident in his first public comment since the ceremony. "How was your weekend?" he jokingly asked the crowd at a stand-up show in Boston before saying he did not plan to address the incident at length. I'm still processing what happened, so at some point I'll talk about that, Rock told the crowd. It'll be serious, it'll be funny, but right now I'm going to tell some jokes. Reacting to the Academy's statement, Jimmy Kimmel, who hosted the Oscars in 2017 and 18, stated on his talk show, "Usually when someone's asked to leave and refuses to go, that's when security comes in and takes that person away. But in this case, they decided to give him an Oscar and let him back on stage to speak." One of this year's co-hosts, Wanda Sykes, said she found the incident sickening and that it was gross that Smith was allowed to stay to accept his reward.
I physically felt ill, and I'm still a little traumatized by it.
Me too.
And for them to let him stay in that room and enjoy the rest of the show and accept his award, I was like, how gross is this? This is just the wrong message.
Furthermore, he continued to emphasize his statement and revealed, "If you assault somebody, you get escorted out the building and that's it. But for them to let him continue, I thought it was gross." She also informed DeGeneres she had spoken to Rock after the show. The first thing he said was, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "Why are you apologizing?" He was like, "It was supposed to be your night. You and Amy Schumer and Regina Hall were doing such a great job. I'm so sorry this is now going to be about this." Sykes said Rock told her. Minnie Driver, an Oscar nominee, claimed the Academy had not addressed why Rock was abandoned by producers during the show. Another former Oscars host, Whoopi Goldberg, who is one of 3 acting division governors, stated on Monday,
"We're not going to take that Oscar from him.
Well,
we're not
I
going to
think
take
there should be consequences to
Well, there will
assault on
be
national
consequences,
television.
I'm sure, but I don't think that that's what they'll
Well,
be.
apparently-
Particularly because Chris said, "Listen, I'm not pressing any charges."
The Hollywood Reporter editor-at-large Kim Masters told BBC Radio 4's Today program on Thursday that some high-profile Academy members have vowed to quit if very serious actions are not taken against Smith, and there was a lot of pressure to oust him from the Academy. Harvey Weinstein and Roman Polanski are 2 examples of people who have been kicked from the Academy but not stripped of their Oscars. Masters claimed the Academy's portrayal of what happened on Sunday was vague. But she also added, obviously, if they had tried to get him to leave immediately and he had resisted, which they said he did, that could have led to a nightmarish scenario with a live television show. It wasn't something where they could stop recording. So, you have to have a certain amount of sympathy in real time with a live show trying to reckon with this. It is no secret that celebrities had differing responses when it came to what actually happened during the show. While some supported Will Smith's actions, others spoke very harshly regarding the physical assault. One fan wrote, "It is completely unacceptable to try and fight a comedian on stage no matter how annoyed, bigoted you find him to be. At least Will Smith and Chris Rock knew each other. You are fucking a random weirdo who's looking to gain TikTok clout." Another wrote, "I don't usually voice complaints about Hollywood because it's been very good to me. But after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock in front of the world and then got a standing ovation for his award, I was disgusted beyond words. Get your shit together, Hollywood. Violence is not an option." Examining what actually transpired during the Oscars may be fascinating. Let's take a closer look. Will Smith seemed to have struck Chris Rock in the face at the Oscars in defense of his wife. Chris Rock, who was presenting the prize for Best Original Documentary at the 2022 Oscars, joked about Jada Pinkett Smith starring in G.I. Jane because of her shaved head and green attire. Pinkett Smith has been candid about her alopecia, an autoimmune disease that causes bald patches and hair loss. In an instant response, Pinkett Smith shook her head and Will Smith chuckled. But immediately after that, Smith went on stage, smacked Rock, and stormed off the stage. The audio suddenly cut on the feed, but in the unedited discussion throughout Japanese television on Twitter, Rock exclaimed,
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the out of me.
Rock had said,
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay? That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
Then Rock went on to reveal that Questlove won the Oscar for Best Original Documentary. According to Variety, Smith's publicist came up to Smith during the commercial break and the two had a talk. Also during a commercial break, Denzel Washington took Smith aside to chat with him. During Smith's acceptance speech after winning the Oscar for his role as Richard Williams in King Richard, Smith stated Washington taught him, "At your highest moment, be careful. That's when the devil comes for you." What are your opinions on the events of that day, keeping in mind their prior histories? Do you believe Chris Rock was justified in making a joke about Jada's baldness? Should Will Smith have avoided hitting Rock with a physical blow? Do share your thoughts in the comments below.